but we can start.
Bet it up.
Okay. Yeah, I like that shirt too, man. You gotta tell me where you got that from.
What up, what up, what up, people? What's good? Salute, salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. We're a niche channel. Reserved for the best. It's super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comics. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. Peace, peace. What's good, everybody? This is the sixth element of hip hop. I am your host, Reno Noir. This is my co-host, Stu Dog, right here. Stu, what's good?
Peace.
Excuse me. Yes, we have a very special. Let me get my camera right. We got a special guest in the building. My man, Yamil Little. What's good?
What's good, y'all? Appreciate y'all having me. I'm just feeling this life that we live in right now. I'm happy right now.
Absolutely, bro. You should be, man. You got a beautiful comic book, man. And I love, obviously, the title. Y'all, I didn't make this up. We didn't know each other beforehand. The elements of hip hop. It's crazy, man. The elements of hip hop. It falls right in line with us. See, Yamil, we're the sixth element of hip hop, and the way we see it is that hip hop got 5 elements that everybody knows. You got your MC, your DJ, your breakdance, your graffiti, and your fashion. The sixth element is comic books, because comics have always been a big influence on hip hop, as far as what I'm saying, from the names of MCs to albums to lyrics to songs to album covers, just the whole ambiance, the whole idea behind it. So we call comic books the sixth element of hip hop. So when I saw that you had a comic book called The Elements of Hip Hop, man, it's another one of those, what you call it, confirmations, man, serendipity.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So I had to chop it up with you, bro. Did you ever email me that?
I did send you a copy via email. I know it's like 7 megabytes. I sent it from my the email that I sent to you. But I know a lot of times with that, because of the size, it might be in a spam, possibly.
Okay, yeah. Let me check the spam because I did not.
Because it's like with new people emailing new people, I know that the spam is up on that. I've had a few situations where I had to check. That's why I be saying that.
Man, no, it ain't on there. Wait, maybe I'm gonna.
But just off a rip, I'm gonna need to send y'all some physical copies.
Definitely.
So I definitely need to get that address so that I can make that a reality.
Absolutely. Definitely want
to.
Definitely, man. I want to be able to show some of the images from the comic. Is there a website that I could go to?
Yeah, you can go to the elementsofhiphop.co. Sorry. Did you catch that? The elementsofhiphop.co.
Oh, I got it. Yep. I got it. I'm about to pull it up right now. I'm about to throw it on the screen. Oh. This is hot, y'all. This is hot. Y'all, check this out. Man, this is fire, dog. Check this out. Bomb.
Yeah,
Dude, dog. Look at that, dog. The hip-hopolis. This is what I'm talking. Hip-hopolis. All right, like Metropolis, hip-hopolis.
Yeah, hip-hopolians.
Hip-hopolians. We are hip-hopolians. I love that. Hip-hopolis Chronicles. It says enter your email below. I'm gonna do it right now. Let's see. Reno Noir at 6th element of hip hop. Hit me up, y'all.com. Wait, that. Somebody just rolled in. Who popped in just now? Let me subscribe. Bing, bing.
Oh, this will be my partner, Pierre.
Okay.
you might be sliding in with this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what's up. As soon as he hop in. So in the meantime, okay, thanks for subscribing. Cool. I'm in there. All right, so y'all check it out. Boom.
But
The
that's
element
track 2. Yeah, that's track 2. That's
track 2.
track 1. Boom.
So just break it down for them. You not calling these issues, you calling them tracks. I love it.
Yeah, and just to delve into that a little bit more, we actually on Spotify, Tidal, iTunes, you can find the first track of, because we called it tracks because
Oh,
the idea was to release music that kind of geared towards each issue and express
yeah,
kind of, the essence, I guess is the best way to say it. So we do
absolutely.
have our first track on Spotify. It's called The Elements, track 1. Our partner Mark XX, he's the MC and producer on that. So you can go to iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, check it out. But that's the essence of why we call them tracks, because of the music component we wanted to add to it. What
Because
up,
tell me, right. Pierre, what's good? Pierre Jean Louis, what's happening, man?
John Louis?
Jean Louis, peace. Can you hear us? I don't know. Can you hear us?
It looked like he froze
All
up.
right,
Yeah, the
here we
no, he
go.
could. I see him moving.
Oh, we hear you now.
I'm here.
Peace. Pierre, what's good, man? How you doing, man? Slade, what link you talking about, man? You want the link to come on the show? Pierre, what's good, man? So we was talking to Yamil here about the elements, man.
Yeah, I was
Tell
just
us.
about the actual track, why we call them tracks, in regards to having the music that we just released as well. But the overall idea is because they, stay
Are
within.
y'all both artists? Are y'all both MCs, or how do y'all? What is your You know what I'm saying? What's your input, Pierre, to the comic? Do you draw it? You write it? What do you do?
Nothing actually. Neither one actually. Well, I wrote initially, conceptually. I had the idea in 2003,
Okay.
and it stemmed from I had a website called MicCheck12.com, and the idea was for MCs that can battle each other anywhere around the world through the website.
Right.
I think the idea was a little bit ahead of its time because the technology wasn't really there, believe it or not, in 2003 to do it. So from
Right.
there, I came up with the idea of the comic book out of that experience. So I did that for a year or two, and then Yamil and I used to work together at Champ Sports for a while.
Okay.
And I know Yamil was a creative guy, and for some reason, like I just felt like, he would be a good partner in the relationship. So we connected, and we just took it. It took us a lot of years. I mean, a lot of artists, years and years of really trying to push the IP. And then probably the past 10 years, I would say, we really started to get it cooking. And then the last couple years, we really started getting some product. We did a Comic-Con a couple years ago. We got some really great feedback when we did our first Comic-Con. People just loved the idea. People that weren't even there for the Comic-Con, they were just there with their kids. When the older people, when they came by our table and knew what we were doing, like they immediately loved the idea. Like it resonated with a lot of people that are into hip hop genre.
Yeah.
And from there, we just been really pushing and grinding. And I would say probably the past 2 years, like we really made some serious strides on, really getting it together, getting a lot of exposure, and we're just ready to keep on moving, keep on pushing it.
What is the next big step?
But on that point of exposure, just wanted to say that it's the elements of hiphop.co on the website, not it just
Not bad.
But go ahead, Pierre.
Nah, you're right. I'm glad you caught that, man. My bad, man.
It's all good.
All right, y'all. Yeah, so check the banner scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Well, actually, I'm gonna throw it up real big first. All right, the elements of hiphop.co, y'all. I mean, it's just to me, it's just so dope because, obviously we the sixth element of hip hop and y'all are the elements of hip hop, man. So, and I got my homeboy in the building, just hopped in. Salute to the Filth. They got a comic book, a hip hop comic book as well. They Crazy Visions comics, man. I'll definitely, you know what I'm saying, make the connection. Y'all can link up.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, man, because they're doing some dope shit too, man, with hip hop and comics, man. I
And
love all of that.
And that's kind of why what we think about with Hippopolis. Hippopolis is a space for us all who understand what you're saying, that the comics are the sixth element. Like, it's a part of hip hop. It's always been there since the beginning. Like Pierre said, we've been doing it a lot of years, and there's been we've had the opportunity to connect with a lot of people within those elements, within the beginners of b-boying and the MCs, DJs, graffiti artists. We've had an opportunity to put this idea and this comic in front of them, and so that they're aware of our presence, and they've even informed us how far comics are integrated within. The graffiti artists had all kinds of stories about how, so
Absolutely.
it's integrated. It's been there since the beginning.
Oh yeah. I mean, we say, obviously that's the foundation of what we talk about all the time, how hip hop, is definitely comics are definitely one of the elements of hip hop, man. Let me see what slavery, that joint sent me deep into the deep dark web. Yeah, man, don't do the .com, man. It's my bad, man. Let me put the new one. It's .co. My bad, man.
He was like, it was like, warning, privacy alert.
Word.
What's your VPN on?
Yeah, somebody jacked our .com and try to hit us for like 5 stacks. So
yeah,
we'll get it back.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, the elements of hip hop. That's a banging ass URL right there. So yeah, I bet they asking for.
We branding it for real, like how it should be.
I love it, man. So give us a little bit of like insight as far as what is this comic about? I get that it's hip hop. I see the elements. I see the guys. I see the hip hop superheroes. But give me some more. Like, what's the story about? Who are the characters?
So
Pierre, just give you
tagline. Give him the tagline that you.
So give you the base. So what it was so, I'm 46. So obviously, like a lot of people my age, around my age, we all have our perception and our feeling about where hip hop is now compared to when we were growing up, right?
Right.
So a lot of things that I saw in hip hop, I was like, I manifested them in the characters. So like the elements represents the purity of hip hop, right? For all of us, And then some of the characters we have, like Mr. Bling, represents the commercialism, the jewelry, the over the top stuff. So we had that character. We have another character called Video Vixen, represents the sexuality of hip hop, manifests into a character. We have a character called Drive By, represents the violence of hip hop.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that Yamil and I, for lack of better words, have frustrations with in the culture. We kind of manifested it into characters. And that's where the elements are defending the purity of hip hop and against these characters or these parts of hip hop, like, we just don't, that kind of like tainted it in our from our perspective, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it's like never ending. So we have so many characters. We have one called Triple Beam, which is like with the drugs. We have, it goes on and on.
Who's the conscious? You got a conscious rapper.
To speak on that, because I know before Pierre came in, you were saying fashion is the sixth element, right? Well, sorry, not the sixth, the fifth. But within our
right, it's knowledge.
It's exactly. So
yeah. I was gonna say, so depending on who you ask, that fifth can be either fashion or knowledge. I've heard it both ways. And I get the merits behind both. Obviously fashion, style, the whole hip hop. It's the way we dress. It's gotta be one of the elements. And knowledge too. Knowledge as well.
Yeah,
so
especially,
they got a
TV show now. They got a TV show now. The fifth, the sixth element of hip hop, fashion or something like that. It's a bunch of female. I think it's on like VH1.
Yeah.
It's coming out this fall.
Yeah,
Yeah. I ain't watching. I ain't watching. Yeah, I don't. I ain't watching.
I
But
believe.
when I seen that, I said, "Wait a minute, man. We already said the Sixth Element was
Yeah,
comics, man. Come on."
Right.
y'all got to get in there anyway, because I know KRS was saying it was like 9. You know, it's 9 elements.
It
So
is. It is like
Right.
9 elements. It really is.
Right.
If you listen to KRS-One, he got a song called "Hip Hop versus Rap." And he break the whole
Mm,
thing down. You know what I'm saying? So
mm,
he said rap is something you do, hip hop is something you live, and then he break
exactly.
the whole thing down. And at the
Yeah.
end of the song, he started doing. He actually just takes segments from famous hip hop songs and he just start chanting them over the beat. Like he's like, you ain't fresh, friends. How many of us have them? And then he starts saying Lottie Dottie. Like he just go over like real popular hip hop songs and just saying just certain phrases from. When you get a chance, check it out. Hip hop versus rap. KRS
yeah,
One.
we definitely will.
Thank you.
A character named Biter or Backspin.
Yeah,
Hey,
Shark Biter.
that'd be dope.
Shark Biter.
hey,
Word.
Yeah,
we got a few ones that,
I'm
and
sure.
we got a few characters that kind of emulate, that embody a few characteristics, that you could say is a villain. We
Right.
Mhm.
put them in the villain category, but it's really about choice, because going back to how we view what the fifth element is, being the knowledge, our character Ghost Rider, he represents the kind of like the power source within our universe, which is called the frequency. Because everything vibrates at a certain frequency, a certain rate. It plays into music as well. But as you know, as you elevate your frequency level, your thoughts are more optimistic, and as your vibration and your frequency level diminishes, you get a little bit more pessimistic. Things look a little bit more, you want you get into emotions of violent emotions. You get into wanting to, depending on what you wear to make you feel better, your insecurities get a little bit more pronounced in those moments. So we're touching on all those topics, utilizing, the broad scope of the elements, all of them.
That's dope, man. That's dope, man. Y'all heard it, man. That's
it's
what's up.
dope, man. Y'all had to really think about this for a while to come up with this concept, man. You know what I'm
The
saying?
funny story is,
Not,
real
no,
quick,
no,
one
I mean, like,
time,
cause like, I always say, like when we have indie guests on here, my thing is, what I think is the dope thing about indie comics or you guys period is coming up with these ideas, but that nowadays nobody has any imagination. We talk about it on the show all the time. As a writer or somebody writing something, you got to have an imagination to really think of something that keeps everybody interested in your idea. And so, like, for you guys to sit back and come up with this, man, like I said, it had to be something y'all put some real serious thought into because it's dope, you know? And it's not nothing cookie cutter. It's nothing we ever seen before.
right?
And like Reno said, we the sixth element and y'all the elements. Like, but it's two different whole concepts. And so it's just dope the way y'all present it, man. The artwork on there is dope. And what you just explained is just dope, man. Like, I think right now it's just time for us to have like a renaissance of people who think like y'all doing very creative and push y'all ideas to the forefront and stop giving us this Hollywood cookie cutter stuff that we've been getting or this industry
Word.
cookie cutter. We need fresh takes on things, man. We need fresh ideas. And this is a fresh idea. This is something that's different, man. And it's bringing a lot of positive energy, man. I like this, man. I really do.
Word. It
I
says
think the cool thing about, I think the one thing is like, I think we tapped into a lot of, I think hip hop tapped into a lot of areas in our lifestyle, but having like 100% pure hip hop comic book genre, I think is something that we need. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one
Mhm.
area that we really haven't tapped into. And like I've seen a lot of like superhero movies and stuff that have music of hip hop, whatever, you know what I'm saying, which is cool, but nothing that represents hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
if I had a kid, I don't have a kid, but I would love my kid to have somebody, a character they can kind of relate to that's not like,
Yeah,
Spider-Man or, why not Mike Check? You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. So
you
this
know,
the heroes right here. Mike Check. They say Mike Check, also known as Vada Feltz, possesses the extraordinary ability to manifest his thoughts and desires through the power of words. With his innate talent and deep connection to the hip hop culture, Mike Check channels the frequency of his lyrical wordplay to bring his creative ideas to life. He hails from the vibrant neighborhood of Alphabet Heights and Hip Hopolis, where he discovered his passion for writing, poetry, and philosophy. Bro, let me look at there's Mike Check right there. It's hell of lore and hell of a lot of detail. I can't like read it all for y'all, but Mike Check's powers stem from his innate ability to manifest his thoughts and desires through the creative and powerful use of words. By harnessing the quantum soul frequency of his lyrical wordplay, he can speak things into existence, whether he's conjuring objects, altering the environment, or even shaping reality itself. Mike Check's word possesses the incredible power to bring his creative ideas to life. So he's like a reality warper. He's like
Well, you know how
Franklin Richards.
that in the philosophies where you speak things into it, you manifest. It's really like a magician. You know,
Yeah, you
the
manifest.
word,
Words manifest.
word choice
These are the words that I manifest.
creates reality.
Right. Word manifest. And these are his powers. You got manifestation through words, sonic attacks, mind influence, enhanced performance, creative adaptation, which is Mike Check's versatility as an artist grants him the ability to adapt creatively to different situations. Man. All
One
right.
thing we always say is like to anybody that's involved with elements, like everybody who's involved in this, whether you're an MC out there, a DJ, a breakdancer, you are a superhero because things that you do makes people feel a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has that power. Like you hear a good mix, it makes you feel a good way. You see a good tag, it makes you feel a way. You hear a lyric, you can relate to it, it makes you feel a certain way. So everybody who's involved in the culture is a superhero, and that's how we want to present it.
See, and that's why hip hop is an element or that's why comics are a hip hop of element. Because fuck, I'm talking about why comics are element of hip hop. Yeah, because everybody is like a superhero. And that's what the RZA said, man. You know what I'm saying? He in the Wu-Tang manual right here. He said comic books are a main element of Wu-Tang because they're a main element of hip hop in general. He said comics are about special powers and about teams of guys united in one life or death cause. You know what I'm saying? The different personalities and superpowers that the different characters have and the different MCs. It goes hand in hand, man. And this cat, the Filth, I know you love this cat right here, this tag right here. This is a graffiti dude. He say our tag is a skilled graffiti artist and vital member of the elements. In the comic book series, with his spray cans as his tools, Tag possesses the incredible ability to bring his graffiti to life, his graffiti art to life. Kind of like the what's the character on Elektra with the tattoos that could come out?
Yeah. Now you're going into drive-by because that's
okay.
Yeah, see, because and it was something while you were talking, you made me think of something Chuck D was saying about fight the power, like you know, things like this, and like you're saying, the comic books being the sixth element, it's like already kind of known, and it's like now we're just taking the tea leaves that previous generations have left for us. We're hip hopping it. In essence, we're doing the same thing, just like when people were sampling beats, they hip hop. They took it, took something old, made it new, and that's the essence of what we're all doing. Am I breaking?
That's the essence of hip hop, period, man. Because when you break down hip hop now, man, like I get why it's just not hitting like it used to with us or anybody because they're not being creative anymore. It's everybody's doing the same
all
thing.
kind of
Everybody
same. They even share the same name. Yeah, they even share the same name. They even share the same beats. You know what I'm saying?
Same names. Everybody Lil this and Lil that.
Yeah, everybody Lil that. Yeah, the same beats. All the beats had the same tempo. Nothing's creative. Now all they do is get on the computer and just come up with the same. Like hip hop has always been about sound. When you watch Beat Street, remember when
the music, it always goes
Lee's
back.
big brother, right? Remember Lee's big brother? He was running around. He was recording different sounds, and then he would incorporate it into his mixes.
Right.
And
Yeah, I mean
that's
that's how
true
we take
because that's
old
true
and make it
because
new.
that's how we right. That's how we made music, man. We just took different
Hmm.
sounds, looped it, and made it into a beat and rapped off it. That's the dopest part of hip hop, man. You might be
Right.
it could be a water drip and you rap into a water drip with a bass
I
line
mean,
over it.
it could be the table.
Right. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That
You put a
lunchroom.
yeah. The the
Yep.
Exactly.
beatbox. Yeah, the
Exactly. The
beatbox. And we
beatbox,
just
all
make
that.
music with our mouth. Yeah. Right now we don't have that anymore. We don't they've taken hip hop and made it something that it's not. And we gotta get back to that, man. We gotta
Exactly.
that we gotta
That's
get
where
away
the
from the
elements
industry.
come in.
That's
That's
where
where
the
the element.
elements
Right,
come in.
And,
Is
and so
right.
Drive by a villain?
yeah, he's a
Yeah.
villain. He has different weapons tattooed on his body that he can pull off, similar to that character in
Right.
in Daredevil.
Daredevil, right. And it
Right.
says
Yo,
Drive by, also known as Deshaun Killebrew, is a formidable adversary who strikes fear into the heart of hip-hopolis. So yeah, he's a super villain with his unique powers and ruthless nature. He possesses a significant threat to the city's peace and stability, much like we, felt that gangster rap was doing to hip-hop.
Exactly. That's where it comes from.
Right.
he's
And
dope,
born
man.
on May 8th, operating from the gritty streets of Hippopolis, Deshaun stands at 5'11", weighs 190, and striking black eyes and bald head exude an intimidating presence reflecting the darkness that lies within him. And see, I love the villains. Who else is a villain? I'm sure CEO is a
Yo, he
villain.
dope. Yo, that
Yeah.
Joker, yo, he
CEO is
dope. Drive
You
he's
know
by is dope.
CEO, you know who he is.
CEO,
you know
Yeah.
yeah, we
CEO.
know who CEO
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Chase
Chase
Edmund Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
I love it.
I think one good important thing about the elements that we wanted to incorporate is all of them are different ethnicities.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
like we have we have an Asian brother,
mm.
somebody from Puerto Rico, Spanish
Right,
backgrounds, because we definitely want to make sure we represent area. It's not just a quote unquote black thing. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
definitely evolved way
Like hip hop.
like hip
Yeah,
hop.
Right, like
like
hip hop.
it's predominantly. I mean, we got a lot of black characters, but
Sure,
it's
like hip
it's
hop.
hey,
Mhm.
we're just making it clear, like just being
Yeah,
representative of what we represent.
right.
And if you think about like even just worldwide, being that this is an international, and as KRS One said, hip hop hip hop is life, hip hop is what we
Yeah,
are. So that's not something that one ethnicity owns.
Right.
To say that okay, we don't draw, everybody draws, everybody dances. You know,
mhm,
you know,
mhm.
it's just the element that the flavor that came out of New York was just that perfect combination of poverty and people wanting to find joy,
Yeah.
because that's really what hip hop was about, the happiness that it brought to you. You know,
Right, right. Exactly. Break is B boy is Break the Asian,
he's
the
Puerto
Asian
Uh,
cat.
Puerto
He's the
Rican.
Puerto Rican cat. Okay, I noticed he was light skinned. All right, we got DJ Riot.
Look at Break. Break is dope.
Yeah, Break is dope.
and the
DJ
idea
Riot.
was to ensure that they could stand alone as they do for real, like each character having the powers and
So this isn't all the characters right here.
no, that's just like the
That's,
main.
that's the
Those are
main.
the
Okay,
foundation right now. Yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah, because I've definitely heard y'all talk about some more. But man, these are great. I mean, clearly, y'all, this is like fully fleshed out, well written
Yeah,
characters.
well written, well thought out. Yeah,
Like I
this is
always say,
dope.
you gotta care about the characters, man. You gotta care about the characters.
We've lived with these characters for 20 years, 15 years before they actually became like who they are.
So y'all make the reader care about the characters, and that's because y'all care. It's like we talk about all the time with the current state of uh Star Wars and Marvel.
Yeah,
It is what it is. But
I mean,
man, this is dope. You got the stats.
And we have the aspiration, to just build out the IP, and that's the overall goal, just maintaining, getting these comic books in as front as eyes as possible.
Yep.
And
So y'all got, so they can come on here on the elements of hip-hop.co, and they can get the digital copy, they can get the physical copy of track 1 and track 2, or you can get the bundle with digital and physical. Y'all check it out.
And we will be expanding our stores, just for, as we move along, we're expanding that aspect, just to make us a real portal of hip-hopolis, information, news of hip-hop related topics across the country and the world, is the goal. So that's what we're, once you subscribe, we got your email address. We'll definitely put you on the newsletter and get you, if you love hip hop like us, then you're gonna like what we send you, because we're gonna send you hip hop stuff, and
Right.
that's what we about. On top of our comic book and promoting that and building that IP and that lore, because that's, like you said, that's the sixth element, and it needs a voice, because that's, like Pierre said, the one thing that we got a few people in there. You got DMC, who got his comic book out there. Respect to Run DMC from Run DMC. Wu-Tang has definitely been the forebearers of helping us see us as superheroes, off of their lyrical combination of DC and all that. So shout out to Wu-Tang, RZA, and all them. So,
this is Wu-Tang. That's Ghostface joint right there.
Ghostface, yeah, man. Shout out to Ghostface. Got Ray, Spectre Deck, Method Man, all them brothers.
And shout out to my homie right here, Pharaoh Monch, who came on the show with us. He was on the show with us, and this is his joint. He signed it. And shout out to my homie right here that's in the chat right here, The Filth. This is his comic right here.
Dope.
These are super dope. And then he's also got the Mad Trapper, and that's the Mad Trapper and Rusto Rebel, where they just taking out whack MCs. It's super dope, bro. It's super dope hip hop and comics, man. I love it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Raw talk. Salute.
Shout out to you, bro. I mean, we can expand this whole genre. Real talk.
Exactly, man.
It's time.
Definitely got to make connections, man. Yeah.
It is time. It is time. It is time, man. It's time for something new.
Like you were saying, bro, it's the imagination. Let's tap back into our imaginations and creativities, and we all don't have to be the same.
Thank you. Right. Absolutely, man.
Being individuality is what makes us unique, man. That's what makes things different. It's what keeps us interested. If everybody, had the same color car, cars would be boring.
Right.
Hey, Raw Talk. If you want to hop on, man, what's your DM me your email, man? I forgot this shit.
Yeah, you guys coming out with this, man. Like I said, it's dope, man. Like I said, you can tell you guys, have a very, vivid imagination when it came to this, and you thought this out, man. This is something that you put work into, mentally, and that's always appreciated, man. Because, like I said, we don't get that now. When we do, we cherish it, man, because it's very rare, man. You guys got some talent, man. I like that. I like what you're doing. I like your whole concept. I think it's dope.
And shout out to Jetty Lewis. She's the artist that put this together. If she's watching,
I was just gonna say,
the one that
name right there.
She got her name on there.
Yeah, right there on the bottom. And this is dope. It says the world of hip hop is one of boundless creativity, but also one where evil forces lurk. Evil forces of greed lurk and strive to leech off the hard work and integrity of original artists. Facts. Corporate parasites crawl through the recording studios every day, eager to sacrifice the purity of the hip hop culture for their own ends. In the face of this seemingly unmovable nemesis stand four heroes who will fight against the dark forces of the music industry and restore order to the cultural movement that is hip hop. The revolution will not be televised, but it will be heard. Man, this is like y'all gotta do a fucking, what do you call it? Like a shared universe, or not a shared universe, but a crossover. A crossover, man, between the Mad Trapper and Rusto Rebel, man, because y'all doing some of the same stuff, man. Y'all going for the same. I mean, they got the golden mic, right? They
Yeah,
trying to
so
take out, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well,
It's
that's
yeah,
like,
between
look at
Mad
look at
Trapper, yeah.
essence of how
That's
we,
dope.
like you said, the thought process. That's the essence of how we were thinking about what you just said, even in our
Mhm.
process, because we wanted to make it like Hippopolis City, similarly to how DC has the wherever I can't remember Flash City, but you know how Metropolis, all those different cities.
Central
But we
Yeah,
City.
wanted
yeah.
to be able to connect with
Central,
creatives via our Hippopolis.
Yeah,
You know,
Right.
Central City.
right.
Mm.
Central City, yeah.
Central City, exactly. And then you got
Oh, so you
Gotham.
saying
You got
so y'all would have different
Right.
hip hop metropolises around
Right.
the globe, and they just go on the United States, and they just, yeah, so you can have different heroes and villains, and people who
Gotta
king of
be.
the city, and people who went. I get that. That's dope. That's a dope idea.
Hey, if you want to come on the show, bro, you know you can hop on. You know the link is in your email, fam. And also Raw Talk, I got you right now. Let me get the link. There it goes. I already got that. All right, cool. Check your email, broski.
Yeah, I mean, like he was. We haven't talked too much on Video Vixen, but Video Vixen represents the over sexualization of hip hop. It's
Right.
Video Vixen and the Thought Bots. So the Thought Bots are that is an
Nah, but,
acronym. Thought is an acronym. Thermo, humanoid, optical. I forgot what the last T off on the top of my head, but yes, there.
Titanium. I got you. Titanium humanoid optical transmuter robots known as Thought Bots.
Yeah,
Is it?
it just so
Yeah.
happens to be thought.
Right.
Mhm.
I don't know
Yeah.
how that.
I mean, hey, it was just, you can't plan these things,
I
Right.
mean,
you know.
come out.
But man, so Video Vixen is a villain, I assume.
Yeah.
Kind of like Poison Ivy or something like that. Is a
Exactly.
formidable adversary who possesses a range of powers and enhancements that make her a force to be reckoned with. Her seductive allure and manipulative nature pose a significant threat to the core values of the unity of Hippopolis. Yes, they do. One of Video Vixen's primary powers is her hypnotic gaze. What's good?
She's
With a
almost like
sin-
Aphrodite, almost.
Mm,
Little Greek mythology behind that.
right.
Africa, and then Medusa and
Okay.
a weird,
Mhm.
Medusa. Yeah.
Her powers are not
That's dope.
on here, but yeah. Her optical strobe lighting effect further enhance her ability to mesmerize and manipulate others. She's just all about, you know what I'm saying, mesmerizing and manipulating.
Yeah.
and she's, she
Sorry.
can
You can say it.
very
Go ahead,
intelligent.
say it.
But to be
It was on
fair,
the tip of your tongue, dog. Say it.
we definitely just in case you have some female viewers, we definitely
Yeah.
have the alternate version of that. So we got characters coming that represent, like for instance, the fashion aspect. We have a
The
female.
male side, where you got the male side or the other the other version of the female
Well,
MC.
to your point, where fashion being an element,
Right.
we have, and the fashion that we know about it was originated by a woman. So we kind of modeled the female character. Fashionista Jones is her name.
Mhm.
And that's the essence of. It's kind of like how GI Joe was. They always used to have Snake Eyes and you had
Right.
his alternate. So just to balance it out, just to show it's all these different genders and aspects on both sides of what we would say hero and villain side, or choices
Mhm.
that they choose to make. to exploit or to
Okay.
uplift, one or the other.
Dope.
So,
Dope, man. This is great, man. Remember, guys, check it out. The elements of hip hop.co, not .com.co, and support
Ghost
this
Rider.
right here, man.
What's
You
Ghost
got to
Rider?
support this hip hop and comics, man. Ghost Rider is a mysterious and enigmatic life force originating from the frequency, a dimension intricately connected to the soul of hip hop. Sent to guide and cultivate the elements, Ghost Rider is a vital presence in their mission to thwart corporate enterprises' sinister plot against the core values of hip hop culture. So he's kind of like their man in the chair, like
Yeah.
right, like their guide at their
Mm.
guide. The undying soul of hip hop, Ghost Rider possesses a unique set of, like the sorry, say it again.
No, I'm sorry, brother. You go ahead.
Oh, my bad. As the undying soul of hip hop, Ghost Rider possesses a unique set of powers that make him a valuable ally and advisor to the team. So yeah, he's like the advisor, which is that's a dope concept. You know what I'm saying? Making Ghost Rider the advisor because he's like in the background, giving the lyrics. One of Ghost Rider's
Nobody
primary
knows who he
abilities is molecular vibration.
Right.
yeah, go ahead.
And no one, right? He's right. He's the guy in the shadows. Nobody
Exactly.
knows his identity.
He can shape. He can.
As a
He's like a shape changer. He can change. He can his molecules to any. If you think we're all made of the same, everything's made of the same material, stardust or whatever you want to call it, molecules. So he's
Right.
able to tap into that and become, utilize his skills because he knows. It's kind of like that. I don't know if y'all remember this movie that Nicolas Cage was in, where he was able to go into multiple directions so fast that he could see what was in all these different directions. So attach that to Ghost Rider, where he can see kind of certain paths you can take, but similar to Morpheus, as you can see on my back wall, it's about choice. You still got to choose to go in a direction, and that's where the advisoral aspect comes with Ghost Rider, because he's just like he's not gonna give you the answer. You gotta. He knows the answer. He knows the best route to take, but he's not gonna just tell you how to do that. You got to choose.
He gonna make you work for it.
Like
And
you said,
okay,
nothing good
I
comes
got
out
you.
of.
That's dope.
Now, can he shapeshift into any? Can he shapeshift into any living being or just anything at all? Like, you could turn into a microphone, or can he turn it? He can only turn into other humans. What can he turn into shapeshift wise?
Like a chair. Yeah.
Well, we left it open to imagination. So currently, we whatever fits into the story, like in his story, however we write his story, because
Okay.
we don't want to say, oh yeah, he just can be chairs.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a being.
Right.
There, yeah.
If you think about Wonder Twins, like one of them could be liquids and one could be. We don't want to do it. We want to be able to where, Ghost Rider could be a liquid. He could be whatever's needed to that makes sense within the story. He can be that if that's necessary. So, yep, he can emulate an individual. If you in the track, he can look like another character. He can do all those things. So,
all right,
Yeah, that's dope.
dope.
I like that.
Let me get that
Whole concept, man. Especially,
I'm just trying to hardwired in here.
especially like the way y'all named the characters after straight hip hop,
Right.
references. Like when we watched like when they did what's that Luke Cage on Netflix. If you noticed, all the episodes on there was named after a hip hop song.
Right.
The episode was named after a real hip hop track. And that's dope the way y'all characters are named after hip hop references. You know what I mean? Further like Mr. Blank, further just diving more deeper into the concept, man. See, that's what I mean about being creative. That's dope, man. That's dope, man. That's real creative. I like that, man.
And to me,
also known as
I feel happy that everything that
What's
we
Mr.
said,
Boom?
the tea leaves have been in hip hop bars, rap songs. Everything that we're bringing out is more like
Mhm.
this is. We don't own the. We're not in ownership. The idea is hip hop in the sense of all those people inspired that. You know what I'm saying? You can see the inspiration, but you can also see the progression as we grew
Right.
with the how deep we got with the, and we wanted to make ensure that we stayed true to what we feel is like our forefathers, our forebearers. Because
Mm.
Ecopolis is a futuristic, Afro-futuristic type city. Um,
Right.
so it's not even Hippopolis is basically if when hip hop originally came out, what if New York would have embraced the graffiti artists instead of tried to arrest them and lock them up? What if New York would have kind of embraced hip hop and not look at it like a passing fad? So Hippopolis was born out of the idea that it was embraced when it first originated and it was able to flourish and become this great city in the future. So
Right.
it's alternate universe based off of, in a sense.
Sure. Absolutely, man. That's a dope concept, man. I dig it. I get it. It make you know what I'm saying.
It is.
It would be a different world, man, if you know if hip hop would have just been embraced, man, and not seen as a nuisance, not only as a fad, but as a nuisance. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to create, like they saw a problem in their own community and their solution was to do something creative to redirect that energy. So it was community activism at the core of it, where the city, if a city or a municipality would have been in tune, it could have been some synergies there to where utilizing that would have could have dropped crime. It was already doing that. It was stopping crime. It was stopping truancy. It was stopping a lot of different things that were problems in the community. So
Mm.
it was the bridge from civil rights to where we're at now. So it was already taking that trauma that was happening in the community, with all the black and browns and yellows and whites, poor, all in that same community, and it built all the bridges. All the bridges. People weren't hating each other because of color. It wasn't none of that. You know, it was competition. So you were able to get that aggression off, that stress off. It was exercise. It was technical skills.
Right.
It's all these different things to where it was like
Okay.
if you would have
Pretty
embraced it
dope.
like you do now, you know.
Okay.
But
Right.
that's what
Right. Right. Exactly.
that's why
Now,
we're
you
here.
guys speaking hip hop. Right. Now, speaking of hip hop, what do you guys? What are your hip hop influences like? What are your favorite hip hop artists?
My
For
bad.
me, I mean, I'm from New York, so it's gonna be the obvious choices, right? So,
Yeah.
um, well, I'm a mix. I'm really like lyric focused. So I like
Right.
lyrics. Like lyrics really move me. So
Okay.
That's how
like
we
Jay
all are.
Z, Biggie, Andre 3000.
Yep.
Those are probably my, like Rakim and KRS One,
Mm.
and Big Daddy Kane. Those are my top six.
My
See how you got Andre 3000 in there, Stu?
Okay.
Oh yeah,
What
he's one
about
of the
you,
best lyrically.
Emil?
Lyrically, he's one of the best ever. No, that's not
Yes,
that's
sir.
not.
Outcast. Yes, sir.
No, I didn't say
Outcast.
Outkast. I said
No, now
Andre
listen
3000.
though, but check it out though. A lot of people sleep on Big Boy, bro.
I
But
don't sleep on him.
you can't. Some of his shit leave Andre. The first album, honestly, go back and listen to Southern Playlist Cadillac. Big Boy outdoes Andre on the first album.
Okay.
Can't even front. Check it out. Yamil, what was you about to say?
out. So mine would be, it's been rough because it's been changing throughout the years, but my number one would be Nas. Um, Nas. I grew up on the West Coast, so I did go
Mm.
through a phase
Mm.
not necessarily listening to MC,
Mm.
but once I got out of that and got opened my mind to that, I
Right.
Nas be there, Big Z, Kanye, Eminem, Andre. Um, And then man, I like Bone Thugs. I love
Yeah.
um, Wu Tang. Wu Tang as a group because they to me were they stayed together the longest. And I like
You
seeing.
changed the game the most.
And then the deal, looking at the Wu Tang series and seeing how Jizza.
Peace, everybody. Peace.
Peace. Raw talk. What's good, homie?
Chilling.
Yeah,
Continue. I was listening in and stuff earlier.
Welcome. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
I was done. Wu Tang was like,
Yeah.
Love Wu Tang.
What are we doing? Top fives?
Always. When people always ask me my top five, I always just say the first 9 originals. I always just say Wu Tang. They count as one rapper for me. So like I might say, I'll be like KRS-One, Wu Tang, and then somebody be like, well, which one? I'll be like, all of them. They just count as one rapper. The whole Wu Tang clan count as one rapper for me. So that's how I get down with them.
Okay, I mean, nah, my top, like I think, like I said, I would say it all the time. I think everybody should have 2 top fives. You should have a top 5 that you really feel are like these are the best rappers of all time, best lyricists, and then you should have like the 5 that are really your favorites, because that might not always be the same. You know what I'm saying? Like I might know that if I'm gonna send these guys to battle against the alien race for the humanity of Earth, I might send Eminem and Rakim and KRS and certain rappers that might not be on my personal 5 that I'm going to take to a deserted island. These are the only 5 I can listen to for the rest of my life. That's going to be a different 5. Like my 5 personally is going to be Ghostface, Nas, AZ.
Yeah.
Rap,
for sure.
Rap, yeah, and Jay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's a good 5, man.
I'm taking Nas. That's my family member, so
Word.
I got a shot.
Nas always got to be.
I remember
he in both of my vibes.
Nas came out. I remember when Nas came out. My little brother, he was on Nas hard, man. Like, and as I seen Nas come out with different albums, whereas I didn't appreciate him as much. He did. Like he was, like my little brother was always like he always would talk about Nas. He'd be like, man, Nas. He'd be like, and he used to always say, he'd be like, you just got to sit down and listen to him. And he would always say that, man. And one day, I sat down and I listened to all his albums. Throughout the course of a week, I listened because I own every album he ever made. And the albums that I didn't have that much appreciation for back then, I had more of an appreciation for now. And it was like I heard him say one time, if you didn't like my albums then, they wasn't for you at that time. But go back and listen to it, and I promise you, it'll be for you later on. And that's what happened to me. And by hearing him say that, and I took the Nas challenge of going back and listening to his albums, very creative, bro. Like I see what he meant that time when he was bugging on everybody, and he was saying people wasn't creative anymore. He was telling the truth, man. When you go back and listen to his album, like that one song he got where he did the whole day backwards, bro, that was creative as hell. I don't care what nobody said. And that was super creative, man. Like the beat, the rhyme, the thought process that went into it, you can't beat that, man. You can't beat that.
Yeah, Nas definitely be on both.
He
keep going.
So
that's how I feel about Papoose. Papoose, man. I mean, his lyrics are just like incredible. Like I'd be like, man.
Yeah, Papoose is.
Yeah,
Papoose is. You know what? But
Black Thought is another one that don't nobody talk about.
And
Thought, you gotta throw Thought.
Now we all talk about Black Thought. No, we all talk about Black Thought. You just gotta be a real hipologist to talk about Black Thought. Everybody about Black Thought. That's
nobody talks about
you gotta be a real hip hopper to talk about Black Thought.
But he in the top.
Nobody don't talk because you know what it is, Raw Talk, his production, man. And then Papoose went to jail. He didn't really focus on his career like he should.
Yeah,
it was a lot, man. It's just a lot that went into him. But bar wise, he got a hot 16 for you.
Oh, no doubt.
Oh.
he probably he got a YouTube. He be dropping stuff. He still be just doing
Yeah.
freestyles, and it's still hot. You know,
You
right?
see the one? Did you see the one he did? Did you see the one he did in the car a couple weeks ago? He was driving the car. And he was like, "Yo, I
Nah,
got something for y'all." He rocked the joint. It was hot,
I
man.
bro, I think him, Lupe, all them cats need to be doing stuff like that. You know, just dropping freestyles because I be hey, I'm still feeling for an Outkast album. Like, bro, anytime y'all wanna, I'm just speaking into the universe since I know this.
Yeah, yeah.
Anytime Outkast, if I want to drop an album,
Mm.
we will buy it. I know there's a lot of people who will buy it. I'm just saying.
Every time.
Thank you for that moment.
Nah, man.
I'm
Andre, dude.
ultimate.
Every
Andre,
time,
I
bro.
watched an interview.
Outkast, bro.
It ain't gonna
Anytime they
happen,
drop
man. I'm
something,
gonna
it's
tell you
gonna
why.
be huge.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. Andre 3000. I watched an interview a little while back. He said, he just said it's just not for him anymore. You know, he
I'm,
said I still got the
Right.
passion, and he said I could still rap and all that, but he said being is that the state of hip hop is where it's at now, he's not inspired to do anything. So he said I just don't have any inspiration for it, and he kind of compared it to you being like a young man playing a young running back versus an
right.
old running back. Like you
Mm.
got the passion, you know, you got the mental capacity for it, but not the physical. And so
Right.
he compared it to that. But he said, you know, he said he still got a passion and love for hip hop, but it's just not in him to go in the studio and write rhymes and drop an album anymore. And I get that, man. And I like Andre 3000. I like his rhyme style. And I always thought he was real creative, bro.
Well, Andre, if this comic book inspires you, come to the right
Go out, knock it out.
about that.
I was gonna ask y'all have any thoughts about animation with your comic books as far as maybe one day collaborating with those artists that you know enjoy listening to growing up and stuff like that, you know, having them voice certain characters or design certain characters for them, you know, that way you can, you know, bring it to that level in the future.
100%.
Okay.
I really want to see it to be I really think it should be I want it to be a movie. I mean, I think it'd be a good movie. I know when we did the Comic Cons a couple of times, like that was a lot of feedback was for that they want to see on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we want, and then one part of our business or one part of what we want to do is empower a lot of MCs out there that are given an opportunity to kind of collaborate with our tracks as well.
Right.
Okay.
So, we want to give that opportunity as well. Not that we're going to be music producers or, you know, that's not what we're saying, but
Mm-hmm.
I think this would be a perfect mechanism for them to kind of like get their music out through our comic. So,
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you can speak on that too, but I think that's one thing I definitely want to see.
Yeah, definitely wanting anybody with music because we want to, given that, like I was saying earlier, you know, we call them our comic books instead of issues, we call them tracks. So we need to reach out and put that out in the atmosphere. I know you guys have watchers. To any artists, hit us up on our Instagram, the Elements of Hip Hop, or you know, subscribe to on our website. But we definitely are going to be looking to facilitate ways for independent artists or people who just want to rap about some of the topics that we were talking about, and we can be a conduit for that. And to your point about incorporating, I guess you could say, the forefathers of hip hop. I've had conversations with Kurtis Blow, and that's the conversation kind of went to that, you know, just kind of either creating characters or voicing characters, because animation definitely one, gaming definitely one, and I feel like gaming kind of, when it comes to incorporating people, those are, you can incorporate the voice aspect and or the image. In both of those venues or both of those industries. So, and to Pierre's point, I feel like something like that would be a perfect way to reintroduce certain people to a new kind of crowd. You can reintroduce, like for me, Kurtis Blow, I remember Kurtis Blow, but my daughter, you know, she knows him because she's my daughter. But and there are those who might not know who KRS-One is, or Boogie Down Productions, or Daddy Sonic, or Marley Marl, you
But
know.
that goes like you said, that goes back to their parents. Like I know who Marvin Gaye is because that's what my
Yeah,
parents listen to.
that's
You
true.
know, that might not like my sons will look at me sometimes and be like, "Oh, Dad, like Marvin Gaye, that was your era." And I try to tell them like, "No, that wasn't my era. Like that
Right,
was far from my era. I grew up
Mhm.
listening to it because that's
Right.
my parents and my big brothers and sisters. But my era started in 1983 with Run DMC. So
right,
like when we talk about hip hop, everybody talk about Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Melly Mel. I mean, I heard all of them, I listened to all of them, but that's not my era of hip hop. I'm
right,
from that next generation I'm from the Run DMC generation of hip hop. That's from there on up, that's where I'm from.
right.
Because that's where I
See,
started.
I'm
That's where
from the I'm
probably
from the Nas I'm
all
from
of
the
us
Nas
started,
Wu
you
Tang.
know.
I was born in
Yeah,
'79,
see, right. See that?
so you
See,
know I
but
had a
see
Cool
that?
Mo
See,
D tape when I was 10 years old and shit. You know what I mean?
right.
I was 10,
See
listening to
Reno
Cool
like
Mo D
me.
and
See Reno like me. He listened to Kumo D. He listened to KRS. He listened to Run DMC. But
as a little
when he
kid.
got old enough to get into it, it was Nas that he was at that age. So for me, my older brothers and cousins and them was listening to, the Juice Crew. Like that was they thing. But my era was when I was old enough to get into it. Boom, it was like Run DMC '83, all that, and
Right.
then on out, and then the '90s. So like everybody got something that was pre hip hop that drew them in, but then everybody got that era that they grew up in. So I grew up in that '83 to '90s, the '99 era or whatever, the '83 and '90s era. You know,
We got we
and
got we got audience members shooting out requests. Can we do a 6 element of hip hop issue with me and Stu and our co-host Sada?
That'd be dope.
But
Dope.
we
For real.
definitely open to figuring out different synergies, man. We always
Yeah, we definitely, man. We want to support y'all, man, because like with my man's in them Crazy Visions comics, we definitely support them big time, and like on Instagram and obviously on YouTube and through selling their comics. If you want people to be able to buy your comics through Six Element, or maybe we'll set up a membership tier where every month, you know what I'm saying, you and Crazy Visions can have a collab issue or something like that, and throw it together on the channel or something like that. We could do something, man. We could definitely, because we want to support y'all, man, because hip hop and comics is something that I feel like this, man. I feel like honestly the fan base of hip hop is missing the fact that all your favorite MCs and producers are comic nerds. Everybody is into comics except for the fan base. Like what's going on?
That's
So I'm
true.
trying to bring, you know what I mean? I'm trying to bring hip hop to comics and vice versa, man. So
right.
yeah, we definitely
Yeah,
want
the
to support you.
illustrations are dope. Very dope. Everything is dope about it, man. I'm right on the site now. I'm about to about to do my thing on this site and get these copies.
And appreciate you, man. I'm like Master P when the one fan was out there cheering for him. That boy was like, "What's up?"
Absolutely.
I'm gonna check out the filth as well.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Because
Them
I
guys.
get hungry for some real stuff. Like I can't really get into the new Marvel and DC as much
Right.
anymore. I collect all like my era from the 70s to the the 90s, the late 90s. But
Okay.
then there's spots in the 2000s, but this new stuff is like, you're rehashing, you're changing characters. Nah, let me just start off fresh with something nice. You know what I mean? And then I can follow that, and it's real, and it's from people from the culture. You know what I mean? From our culture.
Right.
You know what I mean,
It's relatable. It's 100% relatable. Like you can read the whole thing and relate to everything about it. Like nothing about it is
Facts.
It's nothing like foreign to you at all.
Right.
Let me go and get
Yep.
that.
That was our goal because it was like, we are hip hop. Like as far as how we talk, how we dress, how we think,
Right.
it's all born out of that. So And then similarly to, we keep bringing up Outkast, but each album they came out with, they took time with each album. They didn't just rush stuff. And it's my boy's point where he was stating like, you guys really hashed this out. I saw it as a blessing that we were able to, because when the idea first was, when Pierre first came with the idea, I guess you could say it was a fear, but it wasn't a lot of black characters.
Right.
A lot of characters of color being represented in the superhero space at the time of this inception. So to see that the world is kind of catching up with it as well, in regards to seeing Asian superheroes, seeing Hispanic or Puerto Rican or Spanish type superheroes already in the pop culture that's going out, like even with Blue Beetle coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like, hip hop has always been that. So, it makes sense that we would, and then it being the Asian culture, how big it is, how they stay true to the B-boy gang, to the graffiti,
Right.
to the and they stay true to the culture of it. So
Right.
Big time.
embrace that,
Right.
because that's, outside of how a government may run, the people, that's what hip hop is about, the people. So
Right.
tap into the people, whether you be Mexican, whether you be Chinese, Vietnamese, Filipino, whether you be white, Greek, Russian, if you love this culture, that's what we are here for. That's what we created this for. Because we took what you guys have already been doing and just let it come out of us in this way. And that's
Right.
it.
Right.
We want hip hop to be pervasive and to go into all forms of life, because it's already been there.
Mm.
It's just like the confirmation, like you were saying earlier. We never met before this moment, but we were thinking
Right.
in similar frequencies.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
But it's like this though. I'm tired of folks, you know what I'm saying? Them closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and don't nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
Yep.
I appreciate that little drop, y'all. Whoever dropped that in, that was dope.
That's how we do.
So my copy of the first issue is on the way.
I saw that. Got the
That's
big.
dope.
Appreciate
I'm
that.
gonna go through that, and then I'm gonna go through the other ones. I personally, I'm a physical copy guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could do the bundle. I'll probably do the bundle on the last ones, but I want my sons to read it too. You know what I'm saying? I want my boys to get into it so they can, let's get into this together. You know what I mean?
And
That's dope.
I would love for, if you feel free, or if you're good with that, either videotaping yourself or your sons, or like a reaction. We would love to have that that real authentic reaction,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and get that. And
All right, no doubt.
Marketing material. We would
Father and son. Yeah, man. That's
No doubt. Yeah, because I always try to keep them. I'm like, if you guys don't like the textbooks in school, and it's like, I mean, you have to read them while you're in school, but if they're saying you don't like that, go into comic books, because that's how I got my vocabulary up, through comics. It wasn't even the school system that really got me into reading. It was the comic books.
yeah.
Because it was more interesting. Yeah, we can learn about the history and all this other stuff, but it's boring. It's history. This is
I read
exciting.
Captain America and learn history and shit. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So, yeah, man. So, yeah.
And yes, we in Atlanta,
He said
Oh,
it's
yeah.
boring as history.
we can rep the South. Has something to say in comic book, in the book lore.
More.
Word.
But my boy Pierre, New York, so he's the essence that brought that seed to the Georgia soil. So understand that New York is represented in,
Well, everything is uprooted from the South anyway.
that's
You know
real.
what I mean?
Mm.
That's
You know
what
what I mean? A lot of pioneers. I mean, even far south is South America. We're going down in the Caribbean. We can go further south. Everything comes up. You know what I mean?
that's
So,
real.
yeah. But shoot.
We repping the whole United States. We repping the whole world with this comic book because hip hop is the world.
Facts.
Indeed.
I want that soundbite to be said. Hip hop is the world. It's all of us, all the people, all the people.
Exactly.
Everybody.
It's
I
awareness.
love it. man.
It's everything. Enjoyment. Don't did you guys check out what I'm quite sure it went around on Instagram and on YouTube and stuff. Everybody's talking about what Ebro was saying up here in New York. He was saying that their record companies are not checking for MCs or rappers anymore.
We've been through that.
But see,
Yeah.
No, he put it out there like on some official, like, I got the call and this is what they're saying. It's crazy, man.
And to me, you a real MC. None of that statement shouldn't even bother you because if you about this hip hop, that don't matter.
The industry never was your friend.
Yeah.
It never cared about lyricists. It never did.
And it never defined hip hop. The industry never. You got to remember, rappers always did what they wanted to do. They always made their videos.
Made it from
Ice Cube. Yeah, you got to remember when Ice Cube came, when he broke off from NWA. You got to remember, he was trying to make, when he made America's Most Wanted, he was trying to put out an album. And what a lot of people don't realize is that nobody would take him because he was from NWA. They didn't want the beef. So he actually put it out when he ran into more rappers. So he ran into, he said he was in Def Jam. He said, I was supposed to meet with the exec, and the exec didn't want to meet with him. So Ice Cube said he was there all day, waiting. So he said, I was getting ready to leave, and I ran into Chuck D. And then Chuck D introduced him to the Bomb Squad. That's who did his first album. And that album sold 1 million copies through word of mouth. So no other artist or genre in the history of music, even Michael Jackson, as great as he was, has never sold 1 million albums by word of mouth, ever. He had no video, no airplay.
Takes out the trunk from the South, like the whole southern, the whole southern movement.
Yeah.
And then the southern movement was they were pressing it up themselves. So
selling
it's
it out
like,
the trunk.
Gonna press it up. Yeah, we just gonna press it up ourselves, sell out the trunk. They started
Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Texas.
that. Yeah, Master P.
Heavy.
Master P said he would just go to different people's neighborhood. He said at first he started handing his music out. Then he started selling it. And he said he knew he had something when he drove from Louisiana to DC and sold a trunk full of, I think he said he had a truck full of music. And he said he sold it all. He said, I'll sell them for $5. He said, I'll sell tapes for $5. And he said he sold all of them. He said next thing he knew, he had a buzz, but he put it out himself.
Yeah.
So hip hop, me personally, I think it's gonna have to go back to that, man, to survive. Where we got artists putting it out themselves, man, and just doing it.
What it is now. That's the problem now is kids putting music out themselves with their cell phone and not having no. I mean, the industry is looking for this,
I'm
but
talking about good music.
I know. I get that, and real hip hop, like Yamil said, it shouldn't be a concern because we make music, with whatever we got available anyway.
Yeah,
but
that was always good.
And that's what these young kids. That's what these young kids get it twisted.
And that's the one beautiful thing about the hip hop.
They feel like they're so much better than us, or people that came before them.
Well, really, they're doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing. They're doing it with what they got in their hands. They're doing it with what they got. They couldn't get the industry, so they made it at home. Think about what we did.
They're not going to their full. They're not going. We did it different because we really had nothing, and we made.
Yeah, no, I know that we did it different. What I'm saying is, though, is what they did that's the same. Is that they're doing it with what they have, and they, they didn't have, but they're not doing it right. That's the problem. They're not doing it right. They're not taking the rules that we gave them. They're not giving the, what I'm saying?
They're not taking the
formula. The lesson was, the blueprint was laid out.
Yeah, a lot of
the blueprint was laid out, but they're ignoring it.
With them is they're doing this. They're saying, okay, well, I see what Reno did, so I'm gonna do what he did and just try to expand on what he did. Or I see what Yamil
just
did,
do it exactly the same.
I'm gonna do it
not
like
even
him,
expand.
but I'm gonna twist it like this. Whereas in Run DMC was like, all right, we hear what they doing. But Slick Rick was like, but
We
this
gonna
is what
do
I'm doing.
this.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm doing this. Like
What
I
can
like
I
what
do
they doing, but I'm
different?
doing this. Right now, and when you listen to the West Coast, remember what every West Coast rapper ever said. When we tried to rap like jokers, when we tried to rap like brothers from New York, it just didn't sound right. It didn't. We could do
We
it, but
ain't
it
know
didn't
any
sound right.
different shit they
And
talking about.
they said when we started rapping about stuff that we knew about out in the West Coast, like
And Chuck's not
that's when it
valued.
sounded right. Right. That's when it sounded right. That's when we had our own sound. This generation is like that. They don't have their own sound. And so they're emulating what they saw before.
That's because the
And
Well,
internet
that's what
ruined
Life
the
is.
regional.
I would
The
have,
internet ruined, took
I
away the
would have,
region.
And that's
I
what
would
life
have to
and that's what life
disagree
is.
to
Yeah.
some point. I would have to disagree to some point. They do have their own style, but their style is incoherent as far as a focus on what they want to say. They're bouncing off each other because they only have their own little circles. They're not going outside and saying, "Hey, there's a lot of them stay in their 4-block radius, so to speak."
Right.
You know what I mean? Or they
Their chat group,
do everything
their
from the
social
internet,
media.
not understanding that the internet is entertainment. You know what I'm saying? It's not. You can get some facts here and there, but the main thing is be yourself. Come out with your own story. And expand off of your own story. Don't look at somebody else and want to be cool. You are cool because you are you. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And bring that across.
That's
But
hip hop.
That's what I think they lack the focus in that and understanding of that. But
Right.
their style, the sound is totally different. They have their own sound. I mean,
They do.
Oh
And
no,
and
oh,
listen,
they
my
got
son
their
is
own sound.
19,
got
so
their
I
own-
hear this shit like all the
Yeah, they
time.
got their
And
they got
I've
a
come
sound,
to-
but the sound is
I've
all the
come to
same.
like, it's grown on me though. It's grown on me.
Well,
Some of
if
it has
you
grown
think
on me
about it.
because you hear it all the time, and some of it, like I've learned to understand what they're doing has nothing to do with lyrics at all. Has
But
nothing to
nothing.
do with rapping.
Nothing.
It has to do with, and I was talking to my son. I'm like, yo, and I'm like trying to figure it out. One day we in the car, we playing his shit, and and I'm like, fuck. I'm just like, what is it, man? And finally,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I said, I get it. I said, it's not about the lyrics. It's just about the vibe, the whole vibe, or the general vibe, or the way it feels, the sound in general.
And the cadence. The
And he
cadence is
says
always
that-
the same.
Yeah, the cadence
And
is
that's
always
it.
the
That's
same.
it.
The same is exactly the
Yeah.
same.
And it's
And they're
the
trying
fun.
to, they're basically they're creating a vibe. Like we
Yeah.
create a song with a lyric, here's a story. They're trying to create a vibe to give you a feeling,
That's
Yeah.
true.
if that makes sense. And my
So
son was
yeah,
like,
90s
"You
rap,
got
early 2000s was strictly with a lot of stories.
Mhm.
yeah,
Right?
yep.
Yeah. That makes
Like
sense.
And we
making
did
like
the same-
movies,
We did the same thing. Like
like
remember
a movie.
Tribe, Native Tongues, they had their own vibe. Remember you had the backpack rappers and all that. They had their own vibe, bro. And you either was into that or you wasn't. Like
Mhm.
that wasn't
Yeah,
that
but
wasn't
that's
a thing that
different.
was for everybody. That wasn't a
That's
thing that was
different. That's
for
a different
everybody.
kind of vibe.
I think the biggest
You're right, but it's a vibe, and that's the point I'm making. It might be a different type of vibe, but it's still a vibe, and it's a
Yeah,
vibe
but
you
I'm
had to be
saying that
into
they're
in order to enjoy.
creating.
Because
No,
I
yeah,
never, like, I'm
they
gonna
got
keep
a
it buck,
vibe.
I never liked any of them backpack rappers. I could appreciate what they was doing, but I was never into their music.
You ain't fuck with
But I know
Talib.
jokers
and
that was, I ain't really mess with them.
them?
I
You
got
like
I got
Talib
maybe
most
two
Def and
times.
them?
I got maybe 2 Talib
I fuck
albums.
with them. I like
Almost
them.
ever. I ain't got nothing by Common. I ain't got
Wow.
nothing by Common.
Damn.
Wow.
I
Damn.
I'm keeping it a buck, bro. Listen,
Oh no,
because I never could really like. You know
To
who
each
I
his
did
own.
like? I'm gonna check it out. You know who I did like? I'm gonna keep it a buck. Out of them backpack rappers, you know who I did? I could appreciate their music and they vibe and what they was talking about. Dead Prez. Now Dead Prez, I like them jokers. I sat back and listened to them one day, man, and I was blown away.
But I only-
Lyrically, them jokers,
Their
was
presence.
tough.
Yeah, I break down the whole science of different genres, and the backpack rapper, that category is not. It's like convoluted with different things. I think it's just underground. So you got
Yeah.
the underground MCs, like okay, Dead Prez is underground, but they're also above ground. I mean, their topics and stuff
Like
like
supernatural and shit.
but gangster, that's their vibe. And then you had the Cellar Dwellers, strictly
Yeah.
underground. You had DOS Effects, who
Right.
had few joints that was mainstream, but they was underground. They stayed with the boom bap, the gritty beats. You know, when you have the Dr. Dre stuff,
See,
you know
I
him
have
in
to disagree with
commercial.
that. They were more. You know what happened? Yeah, but see, DOS Effects. That's it. Now, see, I'm glad you brought that up. DOS
They
Effects
underground.
because DOS Effects got bit so hard by Lords of the Underground that they had to change their style. Lords of the Underground bit DOS Effects so hard that DOS Effects had the most unique style I ever heard in any rap. Any rap.
Now when you say
And
it
when
sound,
they came
remember
out,
what,
all of us in this chat right now was blown away by that.
all right, check it. Now you said about the kids having a sound, or they all sound the same, but it's a vibe. That's the same thing with Lords, Cellar Dwellers, DOS Effects. You even had the youngsters. Everybody had that. Even the youngsters had Tretch style and stuff like that. It was a that type of vibe. It was like Biggie, Hitty, when I rap that, you had the
Iggity shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
the
the beats were the same, the kicks and snares was the same. You know what I mean? You had that type of thing going on. So when you ride the beats of the kicks and the snares, you're gonna do the same up and down inflections. So everybody had their
right, but that evolved.
I don't say they were
evolved in
biting
the jazz rap. No, not that they were biting, but that evolved in the jazz rap, which is what you got. What Match Homie does, Fahim the God, and all of them. They do that jazz type of rap. That's what that evolved into. Euro Drew, all of them. They do that jazz rap, and that's exactly what that evolved into.
It comes from the guru. He came with the
Gangstar.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Gangstar. Yeah.
Rest in peace, you know what I mean?
He started that jazz rap era. Like Nicholas Craven. When you listen to Nicholas Craven's beats,
it still goes to what you
that's
were
that
saying.
jazz rap.
But it goes to the fact that, you know, at the core of it, that they're not taking time that was taken to make the records that were made before. Things are being more, you know,
cookie cutter, quick, 31 minute song and shit.
We got this many songs on a hard drive. The record label I owe the record label this many albums. I'm trying to get those albums off so I can get my contract off. Because we all sign these deals, because a lot of the younger ones sign those deals where it's like
360. You
got 360 deals. So when you start understanding all of that, you the passion, it becomes a business, right? You're not. So I think a lot of the times right now with them, as they get older, because like I said, this thing, even though they're not signing rappers, there's enough platforms to do it on your own. There's enough ways to do it on your own to where it's not. That's, to me, is the real reason why it's not a viable thing for an actual label, because you used to be the main source. They had to go through you. Now they don't need you. Artists can build their fan base on their own, so they don't. So I understand why Ebro might have said it the way he said it, but it's more of a realization to where it's not the big bad record label just not gonna sign y'all no more because you guys are whack. No, it's because they can't compete.
Yeah,
right.
There's too many different ways, and it's like too many different ways to find talent. But then the onus goes back on you as an individual artist. You got to put the work in, and there's a lot that takes. There's a lot of things the label was doing that now it could be just you and a few people, where they had teams that were doing things. So, you know,
that's what
I'm like Reno.
There's no work to put in now. It's all computerized.
Yeah. But see, I like what you guys are doing with the comic, because and now that I see the comic, brings me back to my man J. Rue the Damages video.
J. Rue.
Yeah, it was just like how he used the comic book visuals within the video. Imagine an independent artist or a free artist, as I would call, to do that, team up with guys like you and animators and say, yo, let's push this. You guys got a few artists, independent, push them through the comics, push them through with their own video with your illustrators and stuff like that, and create a whole new way of seeing hip hop as this is a genre. We're taking it from these big guys or whatever so-called big guys, and it's ours now, and they can't take it because we own this together.
I'm trying to get when I had
in situations, create situations to where it's mutually beneficial, financial. I mean, on the business.
Yeah.
End, but that's the essence of what Hippopolis is, as far as the cultural aspect within the comic book. The whole thing is ran by the lifebug of Hippopolis is the creative arts, and anybody who's creative knows the biggest fear or the biggest thing is to sign that contract where you sign your life away. And at the core of the story, it's going to be about the contract, and that's one of the most important things, the understanding of that, but also understanding that, you know, as humans came to where we are now, bartered, you know, if you had something and I had something and I saw value in that, and you saw value in what I had, we could trade that thing for each other. And we equally felt like, okay, I got something of value based off of what I needed from whatever I needed it for. And that's kind of what Hippopolis, I guess you could say, the government or how the city is ran within the comic book, being a blueprint for what you guys are speaking of, so that it could be a way to bring that into reality for real, or at least a conduit, or at least a team that can inspire one of those things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dope.
But yeah, the comic book. We appreciate y'all having us on here, man. We could talk about hip hop tonight for real.
When we had J. Rue the Damage on here, we was talking about doing something, man. I'm trying to get him involved, man, and because he want to do something, man, with the comics, man, and I know, man, a lot of MCs do. They just don't know what to do, man. They don't know how to.
I got a title for him: Adventures of the Damager. Adventures of the
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? He told me that J. Rue the Damager was built off the name from a comic, Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, J. Rue the Damager. That's how he got the name. He said he used to fuck with Power Pack and all that, bro. He used to fuck with all kind of comics, bro. Like he was really into it and shit. Yeah, we was talking about all kind of crazy, obscure shit. But
I know you had the boys, the Black Eyed Peas came out with a comic book a while ago with the hologram thing.
And speaking of the animation, Pharaoh Monts, who came on the show, he got an animated version of this comic. It's dope as hell, like an anime joint.
No,
I see y'all doing real crazy big things in the space that y'all in. It's unlimited now, and the whole thing is both industries, the music industry and the comic industry, is really crumbling because they don't have they refuse to get real people with essence and stories and understanding. You know what I mean? They'd rather just pump out like a production line, but it's not like that anymore.
They don't want to create anymore. Right?
Yeah, they don't want to create. They just want
to imagination. They don't want people with imaginations. They don't want people to be, because like we were talking about the never ending story. Imagination invokes free will, and free will invokes people just not listening to, the status quo. Like right now, that's what everybody does. Everybody goes and listens to the status quo. They go by what everybody else thinks. We need more leaders and less followers. And now we got a lot of followers and less leaders. And that's the energy that's going around now. What we was talking about earlier, putting out that positive energy, and then getting it back from the universe. That's just how it is. We don't have that no more. And we got to find some way to get back to that.
Facts.
And on that note, bro, like that's, to me, I feel like we were, how we started this, how we didn't know each other, but we're on that frequency level. And my belief is that there are many on this same level. We just got to keep doing what we're doing, keep moving in that direction, and be a leader, basically, in that space. And that's what me and Pierre, that's our goal, is just to be a leader, connect with who we can connect with, collaborate who we can collaborate with, but push hip hop in this realm because it's been there, it's there, it's there. It's just, we just got to create it. It's kind of like
part of it.
Vision is there, even with J. Rue, with Pharaoh, however we could connect to where it's mutually beneficial for people. Because the idea, I understand we all got to make a living, but we still got to figure out a way push this hip hop banner, this hip hop umbrella forward, even with our own diverse, unique, individualistic goals and dreams in life. And so,
Yeah.
you know,
Word.
we got to figure that out. But we are, and we just continue to think in these ways, and it will happen. It's already, we are a part. We are conduits. We are doing it.
Manifest.
We're doing it now. So
Absolutely.
I just keep on moving.
Absolutely, man. Yo, man, we can't we can't thank you enough, man, for coming
No,
on,
we
man.
can't thank you
Really,
enough, man. Like, this is awesome.
really. Yeah, man. Not anytime, man. You know, we always like I said, we want to support y'all. And you know, anytime you guys have something new or something, you know, coming out, or when is issue 3 planned to drop?
Well, we're out here pushing track 1 and track 2 right now.
Right. Just
We got-
make sure. I feel you.
We just focusing on that right now. You know what I'm saying? And
Listen, keep
Well-
me up to date, man. And anytime, you know, anything at all going on, man, definitely, you know, hop on here, man, and talk about it.
I
Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah,
Anytime,
Yeah,
anytime. Anytime.
Well, we on it, man. We're gonna be in touch, and any kind of connections or collaborations we can figure out. Everybody got their lives. Everybody's doing what they're doing, but look at it not as a linear path, but you know how it go.
Right.
Feel me?
I'm gonna link y'all with Crazy Visions in them on Instagram. So yeah, y'all can definitely
Sounds good.
put something together, bro. Man, we gonna dip out, man. Before we dip, man, check this out. Stu and I was talking about this a little bit earlier. They got the Predator versus Wolverine.
September 20th.
Yeah.
See you at your local comic book shop and get that piece.
Oh, they wildin'.
See, look,
4 different
Word.
covers. 4 different covers. That's one of 4. That's one of 4 covers. Make sure you're there to get your
Word.
cover, man.
That's interesting.
It's the bloodthirsty saga fans have been waiting for. September 20th, the Predator will be unleashed on the Marvel Universe for the very first time. Because, you know, Predator has never been in Marvel. Predator been in
No,
Dark
Right.
DC.
Dark Horse.
DC.
So as he
Dark
viciously
DC.
hunts Wolverine across decades of Marvel comic history in Predator vs. Wolverine. So it'll be like a throwback to some maybe some old stories. It says a
Like
4-issue
Predator
limited
versus
series.
Batman.
Yeah, maybe. It's written by Benjamin Percy, so you already know it's gonna be dope as fuck. He's known for taking for doing Wolverine and dope shit. Taking Wolverine to some, you know, and his spirit to some ferocious limits. He's got the current ongoing solo series of Wolverine, and he'll be joined by a host of all-star comic talent, including Greg Land, Andrea DeVito, Ken Lashley, Z Zama, and more. The series will reveal a bitter rivalry between Wolverine and a Yautja. So y'all know what predators are called, Yautjas. That's the who's been stalking him since the earliest days. Witness these never before untold encounters as Percy brings the bloodthirstiest hunters in pop culture to their knees. The thrill is the kill. Wolverine has one of the longest and most storied lives in comics history. Now, witness the untold greatest battles of Logan's life against the Predator. So I wonder, man, I guess it's gonna be it's gonna have Weapon X from the hidden blood snows of Canadian wilderness to the sword slinging streets of Madripoor. It's gonna be like old familiar Wolverine stories with Predator injected in.
Right. We don't
on,
see
on some what if shit
right.
type shit. Maybe that's what I'm gathering. That's how I'm putting it together.
Pretty cool.
That sounds
Yeah,
good.
that's what it looks like.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Because you know he encountered the Hulk in Canada as well.
Right, and that cover does give me a little bit of that vibe of the one where he fought Hulk and Hulk ripped him in half in the snow. Remember that? I think it was I think that was the fuck is the Ultimate Universe. I'm not sure. Yeah, that was
That's
dope.
dope.
But yeah, I want to do. There's so much going on right now with the mutants, with the fall of X. So everybody knows the Krakoa shit. You know where the mutants have been for the past, I think 3 years now, since about 2019, maybe 4 years. Mutants have been living on an island called Krakoa, where they've had like sovereignty amongst the world. They basically got drugs that only they can access from their own island, from the plants that they grow, that can give humans like cure any cancer, any disease, give them extended life, all kind of shit. And so basically they got a hold over the humans where humans can't fuck with them. And they've had this kingdom of Krakoa, and it's been a beautiful time. Probably the best time the mutants have ever had, the most sovereignty, the best, the most power. Because you know they've had a lot of utopias over the years. You know, they're different, you know, Genoshas and this and that. But we knew it wasn't gonna last. We knew it couldn't last forever. That's just how the mutants roll. They always got to be oppressed. They always got to have, you know, shit always got to be going bad. That's just sort of the style of the style that they're written in. So now it's coming to the fall of X. It started with the dawn of X. What got me back in the comics. All the shit you see here was not here in 2019. I didn't have a comic book to my name in 2019. 2019, I bought House of X, Powers of X, where Jonathan Hickman started this Dawn of X with the mutants. I read that story by chance, saw it on YouTube, ended up buying the comic, and it just got me fucking back into buying comics, man. Started collecting like crazy, buying all kinds of shit. Yeah, but yeah, man. I want to do a show, basically a whole episode, because it's gonna take that to get into this, what's going on with the mutants right now. So stay tuned for that. You know, I don't know when that's gonna happen. I don't know what is the best time for that. We got some special guests coming, man. There's some exciting shit coming down the line for Six Elements. Stay tuned, man. And then y'all know every Monday and Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are always live. So check us out this Saturday. Y'all be safe, man. Again, thank you guys for coming on, and we'll see y'all soon.
Thanks again, man.
Word. See everybody on the gram. Peace.
Peace.